In this video I will show you the endgame strategy of Africa and Europe. This is another 4-player fixed card game which is being played with public randoms. Settings, alliances on, balanced blitz dice rolls and 60 seconds per turn. In this game I have the most of troops in Africa, so obviously I will be going for it, and since the line player is going for Australia, I think I will be able to grab South America as well. And with the white player capturing Europe, we will be both getting 5 extra continental troops per turn each. But firstly I'm starting from capturing Africa, so the red player having a bunch of troops near wouldn't go for it if I started going for South America firstly instead. But oh well, it seems the white player will be going for South America instead of Europe, so that sucks that I won't get another continent, but it will be still fine. The white player is my ally, so I will just move my troops from South America out as long as there's the way for me to do so, and just let the white player have it. The red player was very sweet to move his troops out from Africa, so that is appreciated. Then he offered me the alliance request and obviously I accepted it, as the red player really showed me his friendliness. In the public lobbies it could be very beneficial to have strong alliances with other players, because you should really get the advantage the diplomacy-wise. Your opponents should leave you alone and go after other players instead, or in case the alliance is very serious, then they could even help you out targeting your enemies. But I mean that's possible that a player just sends you the alliance request, so you would let him hold his continent with that player just being the turtling player who is more or less neutral towards everyone. But whichever the type of a player your opponents are, I assumed it's still good to accept any alliances the players send you in the beginning of the game. In general you want that your opponents will be more dissatisfied with each other rather than with you, so by having the alliances with them, it will increase the odds for them to go after each other rather than you. Anyways, what I noticed is that the white player wanted to move his European troops to South America, so what I did is moved my troops out from the territory of North Africa, saying to the white player to attack my territory if he needs to, indicating that it's fine for me that he goes through Africa. And as you saw, he did that, making the way to move my 5 South American troops to Africa. And I mean not necessarily I had to do all of that at all. I could have just kept holding Africa without letting the white player fortify his troops, but strong alliances could mean a lot in the public lobbies, especially with low-ranked players who could take your alliance too seriously, but to be allied with high-ranked players could be very beneficial too. If you end up being in a top 3 player situation with your ally, then it should be very helpful for you, as your ally should go after the 3rd player leaving you alone. So just a downside which could possibly happen is if your ally starts getting quite more troops than you, as then you are forced to betray him if he doesn't really attack another opponent much, so the balance of the game would be sustained, and some players really take it personally if you betray them having the alliance. So if you see that your ally is expanding a lot, then maybe just be more neutral and don't target other opponents, as you wouldn't like to give for your ally to give a significant advantage over all of you. As then all in all you would be probably end up being the person who needs to attack your ally. Anyways, another reason why I decided to let the white player move his troops through my captured Africa, is because I saw that it should probably be much more beneficial for me if the white player doesn't have any troops in Europe, just of course besides these territories made of ones which are probably pretty much meaningless for him. And it's beneficial for me because the white player won't go for Europe by himself, leaving the opportunity for me to go for it. I was afraid that the red player could go for it though, so firstly what I did is put some troops in the territory of Southern Europe, so it would decrease the chances for him to go for it with him seeing that I might try to expand to it. And then I just completely cut off the red player to moving to Europe from Asia by putting another army in the territory of Ukraine. And that worked out. The red player moved his army away from my border, probably looking forward to go for North America, or maybe he will be just fine to be without a continent at all. I'm not that sure yet, but we are going to see what he decides to do. But with the line player moving out from North America, I think very likely the red player decides to go for it. And if so, then it will be very beneficial for me, because I assume he will be a problem to the white player. It seems the white player doesn't add his troops into some other army outside South America, so I think he will continue targeting the territories in North America, preventing the red player to capture it, and because of that they should be very annoyed of each other. At least the red player should be not satisfied with white that he will be prevented from capturing North America. So if I end up being in a top 3 situation with the red and white players, then it should be very beneficial for me the diplomacy-wise. It's always good to end up being in a 3-player situation with the players who are enemies with each other, whether they're your allies or not, because they should be paying the most of the attention of targeting each other, and that should give the advantage, especially if they're not really aware about the balance of the game much and could end up over-attacking each other too much. But anyways, as you can see, the red player just moved out from North America, letting the white player have it. And that's good, because with the white player additionally capturing North America and Europe, we should be having mutually beneficial alliance without any of us taking the advantage over another one. Well, if the red player hadn't moved out from North America, then maybe I would be alone having additional big continent, but the line player before red moving out had an army on the Middle East, and I assume he hadn't attacked me because we made an alliance, but probably he would have captured Asia, and then it would have been me who has to invade him, if not wanting him to let hold Asia. It seems the line player is being annoyed with red. And oh wow, I didn't expect Lime to crush red player's biggest army at all, as he has not only basically destroyed red but himself as well, ending up relatively weak. So it was just fortunate for him that both of them are low on cards, otherwise I would have taken them out winning the whole game, but for now they get to survive. Anyways, since it's not beneficial taking them out, I decided to use my Africa plus Europe endgame strategy, betraying the white player, as I had to take the best from the situation I could, otherwise the white player would have equalized our chances to win in case he betrayed me first. But now I hope to dominate the whole game by myself. Well, I knew that it was very likely for him to have a set at 4 cards and then invade me into Europe. But I mean, I'm still pretty happy with everything, because besides the red and line players being low on cards, meaning that they're not trading in sets soon, I'm still stronger than white and have better position than him. So it was just unfortunate that he was smart enough to fortify his biggest army out from the blocked place. So because of that I will have to immediately crush it. I would like to add these 7 troops on my North African army, possibly going through all the white players' continents, but that's possible that I could get the most unfortunate blitz roll ever too. So I decided to be guaranteed invading North America by adding my troops to Western Europe at the same time capturing Europe. And then just simply crushing my North African troops, getting whichever blitz roll I get. As otherwise he would have gotten the attacker's advantage by attacking my army first. Also, as you saw, I wanted to attack with my Greenland army at least 1 more territory, so the white player being below 12 territories wouldn't receive 1 extra troop, but I think that that was a mistake. I should have left those 4 troops on Greenland, so there would have been some chances that the white player would have failed invading me through it. Anyways, I don't really like that the red computer player unleashed the line player's biggest army, but that's probably fine because it seems the line player is taking red out. And to be honest, I am not that sure if it was that great for him. Well, on the other hand, the red bot won't be blocking him, plus it guaranteed that I'm not taking the red player out for the cards. But I mean, I still have a set at 3 cards, so I could take the white player for sure, guaranteeing to win the whole game. It was smart for the white player to put his army in the place in which it would be the least accessible to my other armies. But even if I hadn't gotten a set, then I think I would have been still able to crush it by getting 7 troops in my turn. Anyways, I'm not sure why the line player after taking the red player out put his army into a blocked place again, because it let me perfectly set up the 4 continents endgame strategy against him. So he would be better having any set. But I assume even that wouldn't be enough to win against me at the endgame anyways. The line player crushes one of my armies but still doesn't invades me into any of continents, so that's a GG. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then I would recommend checking some of these out as well.